On the dividend news, we do have 2 companies out of the 8 companies that were expected to raise their dividend in the month of September. We do have Philip Morris International, which just announced a dividend hike of 2.4% increase. It is going to be $1.30 per share going forward. The next one we did actually get a dividend raise from was Realty Income Corporation, which is another company out of the 8 companies that we were expecting. So they will be paying now 0.2560 cents per share. This is actually a raise for about a 0.2% dividend hike. This is the 4th hike by Realty Income in 2023, which totals out to be about a 3% dividend raise so far for 2023. Another company that will be raising its dividend is Fifth Third Bancorp. This is 8th consecutive years of dividend growth. Quarterly cash dividend increased by 2 pennies, which is about a 6% increase to 35 cents per share. The other one we do have was Host Hotel and Resorts Inc., which actually increased it by 20% actually to 18 cents per share. This will be actually October 16th. And then the last dividend raise we did get was from WPC, which announced another small dividend increase. The quarterly cash dividend is now $1.07 per share. This translates to about $4.28 per share. And then I had 2 more other things I did want to show you, which you might find interesting. Trane Technologies is actually hitting all-time highs with hitting about $210 per share, which is about a 25% year-to-date increase. They do have a 10 double-digit hike in 14 years. It's a 11.9% increase for 2023, which they did, and the current dividend yield on it is a 1.5%. So congrats for all the TT shareholders. And then here, the last one I want to show you guys, which you might find interesting, was the top US dividend hikes in 2023. You guys can kind of look at them, pause it here if you're interested, and then yeah, these are some interesting companies. What's up, everybody? It's Antonio here to bring you episode 204 of the portfolio update. So you guys already know it's Sunday. It's time to go over the portfolio, what I bought, what I sold, what dividends came in, what options I traded, which ones I managed, and definitely going to be exciting because remember, guys, we come back every single Sunday. We try to grow this dividend snowball, so we're actually focusing on the monthly projected dividend income. By the end of the video, we should see this way higher because every single week we'd continue to dollar cost average to the portfolio, no matter what it's doing. If it's going up, hitting all-time highs, or hitting low 52-week lows, it doesn't matter to us. We continue to do that, and in the long term, our future selves will be thanking us. But anyways, I do have a copy on this. You'll see that on the annual dividends for us, we are still at about $2,168.67. We're actually trying to, or I guess all the dividends for the month of September for the positions I do have are starting to hit the account, which I'll be showing you that. We actually did get a dividend, or I guess a cash dividend from the money market account that I did actually purchase a couple weeks ago, so I'll be showing you that as well. If we look at the quarterly dividends, we are still working on Q3. So far we've been working, or I guess we've collected $342.51. We're waiting on the month of September to wrap up, and then that should actually finish Q3 for us. I hope that we can definitely surpass $1,006.81, which I think we probably will, because we continue to contribute into the portfolio and continue to reinvest the dividends, which that snowball is starting to take off, guys. I'm going to show you that in the history, which is very, very awesome to see. On the options premium, one of the things I want to show you here is for the month of September, guys, we are in the negative $811.66. This is intentional, and that is because I had to roll some of the positions. I did roll up, and I paid to actually roll up, but I think it's worthwhile doing that for me. And then if we look at the options return, we're so far at 2.73% on the options return. If we look at the goals that we do have, again, first goal we do have is to reach 20,000 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing with that notification. Definitely would mean a lot to me as well. If you wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up on the video, costs you nothing, helps out the channel, and I definitely appreciate it, guys. If you can do that for me, go ahead and drop that thumbs up. It goes a long way. But goal number 2 is to reach $325 per month on average. Guys, we surpassed this way early on. We're actually on our way to about $375 to about $400 per month. I think we can maybe get there. We'll see by the end of the year. And then goal number 3 is to reach $118,000 invested of my own money. So the portfolio is kind of worth about $209-ish thousand, but we've only put about $116,301 of my own money. Everything else has been capital appreciation, or selling out of stocks, or dividends coming in, and so on and so on. So it's almost like we doubled our investment there, which is very awesome to see. Goal number 4 is to dollar cost average $100 into the portfolio at a minimum every single week. We continue to do that. I'll show you that once we jump over into the Schwab account and look at the history, and I'll show you what I did. Goal number 5 is to drip an additional $100 every time a company is going ex-dividend date. So actually a company was going ex-dividend date this past week, so I'll show you that. And then we do have goal number 6, which is reach about $400 per month on average selling options. Hopefully we can actually hit this. Obviously trying to buy back or being negative in the options world every single month is gonna actually drop this goal down, but I think we might be able to get to it. We'll see what happens. And then goal number 7, guys, is to try to get SCHD to 1,000 shares. I do have a goal. I'll continue to execute on that, and I'll talk to you guys a lot about that in a bit. If we look at the dividend payout here, you'll see that we do have a couple companies that are paying out for us. This is a script that I do have available for free. We'll kick it off later in the video, but this is sorted by all the companies that I do have in my portfolio. This is sorted by pay date, so we are going to be getting the next dividend that's coming in is by Lockheed Martin on the 22nd of September. We're also going to get Waste Management, and then Nvidia on the 28th, and then Union Pacific on the 29th, and then we also should have SCHD, but they haven't declared a dividend yet, so that will wrap up the month of September. And then we'll start off strong with Altria, which actually just went ex-dividend date this past week, and they had a dividend raise of 4% almost, so very, very awesome to see. If we look at the options here, you'll see that so far we're at $3,179.16, so definitely a lot lower than last week. But I think it was a worthwhile move to do, especially because if I got to move up in strike price, it's definitely worth it to me. And then but yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the video. So as you'll see here, the portfolio is at $210,386.46. We're actually down on the day change about $1,040.08, which is roughly about a 0.49%. And then on the 2-year change, it's showing that we are in the green by $22,276.22, roughly about 11.84%. And then if we look at the positions, which I think is the most important part for us here, you'll see that we are up about 32.96% in capital appreciation, which translates to about $51,636.46. We do have a cash balance of about $2,096.90. This actually went down, and that is because I tapped into this cash to be able to roll those positions up, which we'll show you in the history in a bit. But you'll see here that cost basis is $156,000. So this is the difference in capital appreciation as well. If we look at the positions here, you'll see we do still have over 200 shares of Apple. We do have 2 covered calls, but these actually are going to expire until the 13th of October. We did go up in price, guys, to $150 strike price, so we're slowly trying to roll up. And then you'll see we do have Altria, which we do have a little bit over 100 shares. I don't have a covered call on this because they were going ex-dividend date this past week. You want to try to avoid companies, or I guess you want to avoid trying to sell covered calls on companies that are going ex-dividend date if you don't want your shares taken away, because there's a chance that they could. And then we do have JP Morgan, which I do have a little bit over 100 shares, and we did have a covered call on this. I actually had to roll it up, so we do have this position up. It will expire next week on the 22nd of February with a strike price of 152.50. So we'll see what happens with this one. We also do have the Microsoft covered calls, which is actually at 280 strike price, expires until October 20th. So we'll see what this one does as well. We're going to continue to try to roll it and manage it. And then we have these other companies we do have that we will eventually hopefully get to 100 shares. And then guys, we do have SCHD, which we're getting closer to 700 shares. We're at 693 shares. Currently the SCHD is trading around $73.63. And then if we look here, you'll see our cost basis is at $73.02, which the market value for this position is about $51,028.51. And you'll see that we don't have any options on SCHD. We did have 7 covered calls on SCHD, and then 3 cash secured puts on SCHD, and they're actually gone. They did expire worthless. So next week I will actually be placing 3 more cash secured puts and potentially 7 covered calls to collect some extra premium. We'll see what happens, guys, and you know, continue to pull in that premium and continue to reinvest it, buy more SCHD, and hopefully that dividend snowball continues to compound more and more. And then guys, the last one we do have, which is the SNSXX, which is the US Treasury money investors, the money market account that we have roughly about $22,000. They did actually pay us out this week, so I'll show you that shortly. If we look at the performance, you'll see that we're at in the green by $12,400.42. So it's cool to see this. Remember guys, we were in the red, so definitely time in the market beats timing the market, and that's why we continue to dollar cost average into the portfolio no matter what it's doing every single week. If we look here, you'll see that it's at 6.20% in the green, which is cool to see. If we look at the investment income, we're at $5,319.52 estimated for the next 12 months, which is roughly about $443.29. I believe this is including the money market account, which I'm not including because otherwise we would have already surpassed the goal that we have, which is to try to get about $375 to about $400 per month on average. And you'll see October, we're projected to make about $382.07. Then November's kind of like, I guess the second month of every quarter is our lowest amount, $176. And then the third month of each quarter, we're projected to make about $819, which is insane, guys. That's a lot of dividends. That's a lot of passive income. We don't have to do anything for that. But if we show you guys here the history, we can go ahead and get started. So you'll see that we did start from the 10th of September all the way till the 16th. If we scroll to the very bottom, we can go ahead and start. So the first one on the 11th of September, guys, we did do a sell to open. So we sold a covered call on JP Morgan for a strike price of $150 that expired on the 15th of September. They paid us 5 cents, which is $5. After fees, we collected $4.34. If we look at the 11th, we did actually get the Costco drip reinvested, which bought about 0.04 shares of Costco at about $556. That actually purchased $25.37 or cents of Costco. If we look as well, on the 12th of September, I went ahead and deposited $200, which is $100 to meet the ex-dividend date of a certain company, and as well $100 to dollar cost average into the portfolio. You'll see on the 14th of September, we got Microsoft. So we got the dividend from Microsoft, $74.19, guys. Very awesome to see. We did actually on the 15th, on Friday, we had to roll the JP Morgan covered call. I went ahead and did that just to be safe because I didn't want my shares getting called away in case JP Morgan went above 150. But I did do a buy to close, so I bought back that covered call that was at 150 that expired on the 15th of September. I paid $17.66. But right away, I did do a sell to open, so I sold a covered call at $52.50 that expires next week on the 22nd of February. Not February, September. I'm not sure why I keep saying February, but it's September. And then you'll see that we collected about $34.34 after fees. So we roughly made about, $16 or so from this roll on JP Morgan. You'll see also we did do, I guess we had to roll the Apple covered calls we did have because they were super deep in the money. So on the 15th, I did do a buy to close. I bought back those covered calls. We had a 145 strike price that expired on the 15th of September. It was 2 of those. We paid about $5,901.32 to be able to purchase these back. And then on the 15th, we also did a sell to open, so we rolled those. We sold the 150 strike price covered calls that expire all the way till October 13th, 2023. So we were able to go up by $5 here, which is roughly about $500 per contract. We did 2 of those. They paid us about $5,068.67. So the difference is what we had to pay, which is roughly about maybe $832 or so. So we did actually make a little bit of money because assuming that the shares were get to called at 150, we did make maybe about a little bit, maybe $100 or so on this per contract, which is about $200. And then on the 15th here, guys, we did do a buy. So we bought SCHD, guys. We bought 2 shares of SCHD at $73.73, spending about $147. And then you'll see that on the 15th as well, the Microsoft dividend ended up dripping, which it actually purchased 0.22 shares of Microsoft at about $333. And that was the drip that we got from Microsoft, which is very, very awesome. The last one we did get was actually on the 15th. We got a cash dividend. We got it from SNSXX, which is the Schwab US Treasury Money Investor Money Market Account. And then we actually collected $72.91, guys. If I continue to leave those $22,000 in this account, we will be collecting about $72 to $73 every single month on the 15th of each month. And that'll be pretty awesome because that amount that we do get, we'll continue to reinvest that into SCHD. So on Monday, I will be purchasing 1/4 share of SCHD because that's roughly about how much SCHD is trading. It's trading a little bit higher than this, but it's okay. I'll cover the difference. But that's kind of the goal every single month. This US money market account will give us enough to purchase 1 additional share every single month, which I think is a great idea. We'll see what happens as well. We'll be doing the cash secured puts on top of that. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. But let's go ahead and see how much we collected in dividends this week. And passive income had to do absolutely nothing. So I do have this green button. It's called calculate dividends. It just goes on the page and adds up all the dividends for us. So let's go ahead and click calculate. And guys, we made $147.10. I believe this includes the cash dividend as well. So pretty passive, had to do absolutely nothing. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video by looking at how much we grew the dividend snowball by jumping at the Google Sheets, guys. So I'll see you guys over there. Alright guys, so we're at the Google Sheets. You'll see that I already have a copy of this thing, so we can kind of see the difference in what we made. But anyways, you'll see here on the options premium, just to go over that, we are down by about $811.66, which we're still on the rate of return 2.73% for us. And then if we look at the actual options, you'll see that for this past week, we of course spent about $811.66, which actually brought down our total income for 2023, which now we're at $3,179.16. We were getting really close to 4,000, but that's okay. We'll definitely surpass it in the next couple months. We'll see what the market does. And anyways, if we go over here to dividend payout, we can actually go ahead and kick off these scripts, see if any new companies in our portfolio announce dividends. So let's go ahead and get started. It's at 41. If you go over here to portfolio tools, get latest dividends, this will get wiped. It'll go out and see the positions in my portfolio. I do have tutorials for all this stuff. It's completely available for free, guys. All these scripts I do have. All I ask in return is that you're subscribed with that bell notification. You can drop a big thumbs up on the video. It definitely goes a long way. And then yeah, it looks like it's done. We actually didn't get any new companies. I do have like maybe 12 positions, so I didn't really expect much there, but we will be getting Lockheed Martin and Waste Management dividend on the 22nd of September. So definitely going to be looking forward to it, especially because Lockheed Martin pays out a huge amount for the position I do have. So always definitely are welcome, those dividends for me. And let's go ahead and just see how much we grew the dividend snowball this week. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this settings portfolio holdings from last week. So I'll jump over to Empower so you can grab the latest version of our portfolio. So I'll see you guys over there. Alright guys, so we're at Empower on my Schwab account. You'll see this green button. Click on it. That copies the holdings in my portfolio into the clipboard. Then we can actually jump back over to the Google Sheets, right click, paste special values only. This actually contains the new purchases I did this past week. If we jump over here to holdings, this is an old snapshot of last week, but anyways, once we go to portfolio tools, click update portfolio holdings, this will get wiped and it'll parse out the new stuff we just pasted. As you'll see, SCHD, we're at 691 shares from last week. We should be around 193 now, 693 shares. But anyways, click on update portfolio holdings, you'll see it get wiped. And we can actually jump over here to the dashboard to see everything being calculated. And looks like it's done. On the projected dividend yield, guys, it's projected to be 2.01% compared to last week of 2.02%, which it probably did go up in value. On the cost basis, we did go down to 2.70 compared to 2.72. That's because I probably continue to buy companies, and Microsoft and all of those continue to drip. And then you'll see yearly, we're projected to make about $4,235.49 yearly. We went up about $15 for the year. On the month, we actually went up about maybe $1 or so, $352.96 compared to $351.73. On the weekly, we're projected to make about $81.45, so we went up about 23, I would say 28 cents or so, which is really great. We're trying to get this higher on the day. We're actually making $11.60 every single day now, so we went up about 4 pennies. On the hourly, we're still making 48 cents every single hour, guys. But on the hourly work wage, guys, this is if our portfolio was to go work a 40-hour work week, they would get paid, and I guess every hour they would get paid $2.04 compared to $2.03 from last week. They did get a raise, I guess, a penny raise. They were doing such a great job. We're going to try to get this to minimum wage eventually. We'll see how long that takes, guys, but we're slowly but surely growing this snowball, and it's compounding very, very nicely. But this is actually all I have for you guys in this portfolio update. Don't forget to subscribe with that notification. Help me reach that 20,000 subscriber mark. Definitely would appreciate it as well. If you wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up on the video, cost you nothing, but definitely makes a huge difference for us because it does help out the channel. And if you stuck all the way to their end, let me know by dropping a hashtag cash dividend, because we did get a juicy cash dividend from the US money market account or mutual fund that we do have in our portfolio that we are using currently and earning interest on it. So it's very, very awesome to see. But I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the comment section. Take care, stay safe out there. Bye, guys.